Hello and welcome to Consoletronics, where today I put aside the profanity and my utter contempt for casual gamers and instead enter the world of princesses, fairy dust and anti-Semitism with my look at the top 10 Walt Disney games. Chu Unit? I mean Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Yes folks, we start our countdown with a game based on a cartoon starring chipmunks, dressed as Indiana Jones and Magnum P.I. respectively, and this 8-bit platformer, while not as widely known as many other titles from the House of Mouse, easily holds its own against its more illustrious competition. The bright and crisp graphics might deceive some into thinking this is a simple kiddies game, but for those who give it a try will be rewarded with an underrated and addictive classic. Despite playing second fiddle to Mickey Mouse in the Disney hierarchy, Donald Duck has achieved some solo success in the video game world, notably in the 90s. The Lucky Dime Caper, released on both the Master System and Game Gear, is a real gem. Smooth gameplay and colourful visuals, taking full advantage of the Master System's superiority over the NES in terms of graphics and sound capabilities, to create a must-own title, not just for Disney or Master System fans, but for anyone looking for top quality platform action. Donald gets another chance to shine, this time in 16 bits, with the Mega Drive exclusive Quackshot. Armed with his trusty toilet plunger, our hero goes on a treasure hunt, after finding an old map, hoping it will lead him to become more wealthy than his Uncle Scrooge. A big hit for the Sega Mega Drive when the machine was still finding its feet, and it's just enjoyable to play now as it was all those years ago. A great game. It's hard to believe, I know, but Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse was, on its initial release, seen as something of a killer app for the recently released Sega Mega Drive. Rightly praised for its graphics and above-average animation, Castle of Illusion has you controlling Mickey on a quest through many beautiful and well-designed levels in your quest to rescue Minnie from the clutches of Mizrabel. Also available on the Master System, the Mega Drive version, however, provides the most bang for your buck. If you were around in the 1980s, chances are you remember DuckTales, with its toe-tapping opening theme, was part of a new wave of Disney TV animation, along with Gummy Bears and Chippendale. The video games, however, are probably better remembered in America than over here, not because the NES wasn't a hit, but because it was nearly 2 years after its US release that DuckTales hit UK stores, and by then the 16-bit wars had begun. But if you get the chance, I highly recommend this NES game, or its recent HD remake. A fantastic game. One of the fringe characters from the Disney universe who had a short-lived TV series in the early 90s, but thanks to Capcom, creator of many a fine Disney game, the feathered homage to the Shadow would get his own NES title. Not quite in the same league as Aladdin or DuckTales, but still an interesting entry in the Disney library. It's that man Donald again in a later entry to the 16-bit roster of Disney releases. Top-notch animation and the high production values that we've come to expect from Disney make this a much sought-after video game that actually lives up to its increasing price tag. A top-quality 2D platformer that doesn't reinvent the wheel in terms of gameplay, but still provides many hours of fun and frolics. Another Donald game and the first title on this list from this century. Don't let the fact that this small clip is shot on shitty-o fool you. Donald Duck Quack Attack, or Going Quackers as it's known across the pond, may be a simple Crash Bandicoot clone, but its charm and playability raise it above many other 3D platformers I could mention. For many years, Magical Quest III was only available to import gamers willing to pay excessive amounts for the Japanese-only SNES title, until that is this 2004 Game Boy Advance release, which allowed many gamers to get their sweaty mitts on an English language version for the first time and enjoy what is arguably the best 16-bit Disney game. And we come to the first game based on a Disney movie, and as it was also Uncle Walt's favourite, this Mega Drive outing has a lot to live up to. Thankfully it does just that, with fluid graphics and a decent soundtrack by the Mega Drive's laughable music chip. Fantasia doesn't uproot any trees, but is a fun, colourful, solid adventure through one of Disney's best works. Top stuff. If there ever was a case of a game being better than it had any right to be, the Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse is it. I showed a snippet from the third game of this trilogy running on a Game Boy Advance in my notable mentions section. But I plumped for the first game in the series in the main list because it blew me away then and has lost none of its magic now. I've long been meaning to do a whole video on this game, but for now, take it from me, it's reason enough to own a Super Nintendo. In the build-up to this game's release, a lot of artwork appeared showing a post-apocalyptic Disneyland laying in twisted ruins. Was this Disney themselves commenting on the death of the American dream and their own role in it? Nope. The game we got was a sanitized Nintendo Wii exclusive, and despite that crippling handicap, actually provided us with a really good game, dark in places but full of that familiar Disney magic. Some of you might be surprised to see Mickey Mania, or Mickey's Wild Adventure if you're playing this on a PlayStation 1, chart so highly, but no matter how old you are or jaded you feel towards the Disney empire, there's a certain vibe you get when you can enter a level designed to remind you of Steamboat Willie and other early classic Disney cartoons, with gameplay tighter than a Nicki Minaj outfit and every last drop of graphics squeezed from the 16-bit machines to create a truly beautiful game world. It had to be, didn't it? Kingdom Hearts. When two superpowers of their respective domains join forces, it more often than not results in a disjointed mess that fails to please fans of either franchise. But Square and Disney's marriage of convenience brought into this world a peculiar love child, and the only video game featuring Disney characters I would ever admit to liking in the real world. Because while not perfect by any stretch, when you consider how bad this game could have ended up, it's an achievement to say the least that we got a game as good as we did. JRPG sensibilities with a liberal sprinkling of Disney's patented pixie dust. A great game, a great series, and my number one pick of all the Disney games. Well, after this overexposure to Disney's sickeningly cute video game output, I think I need to play Parasite in City for a few hours to balance my gaming equilibrium. So do you agree with my top 10, or would you like to have seen Aladdin or Lion King in the mix? Let me know in the comment section down below, and if you haven't already, why not subscribe? So thanks for watching, and I'll have some more videos up very soon.